Hey, you guys, and we are back with season 2 of the Melanin Playbook.
Woohoo! Yeah,
Okay.
come on,
Yes.
number two.
Come on.
Yes,
All
and
right.
joining us on our first episode as we get into the nitty gritty of the Melanin Playbook is no other than my sister in every life, my closest friend, my heart, love.
This is
Love.
love.
Yes, and don't forget, we got Eyes on here.
You know what it is. I'm ready.
And Lanete.
Hey, everybody, and Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
And you already know who it is, King Hurt in the building. So we here to talk about the topic of the day, which is BS versus the truth, an open and
Mm.
closed case.
Mm,
Okay.
mm, mm, mm.
And now I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes the bullshit just make you have to ask more questions, and the case got to go through some trials and tribulations before
Okay.
you come out and you get to the truth. But
Mm.
oh, if it's not worth getting deep in the nitty and gritty of it. So, 2021, I'm pretty sure it was a crazy year for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure everything happened in
Mm.
2021. It was a very mental year for me. I know I had other friends going through situations and stuff like that. And then you got to take ownership throughout those chapters because sometimes we
Mhm.
sell ourselves bullshit versus the
Mhm.
truth
Yeah.
because we don't feel like
Mhm.
dealing with it at that
Don't
moment.
want to face
And
the truth of the fact.
right. But when we tell ourselves the truth and we admit it, does it not become an open and closed case?
Sure.
Uh, it- that
Nope.
depends.
Eyes got something. Let's see. Let's see.
It depends though. Like I don't like saying, what is true and stuff like that because it's based on your perception.
Yeah.
So whatever I see deemed as the truth, you may seem as an excuse, but it's not an excuse. It's just my truth in it. Like you can be
Mhm.
bullshitting about, say, hey, you need to clean out your closet, and you've been this closet been like this the whole 2021, and you've been procrastinating on that. It's starting to that procrastinating trickle over into other procrastinations, but in your eyes you probably feel like, okay, I'm overwhelmed, but then it just becomes like an excuse to live in chaos. But
Mm.
you may look at it and be like, you lazy, you know that ain't what it is. There's other stuff going on. So that's why I'm like saying, like, as far as like truth, it's based on your perception of it. But some stuff do have to be checked, you know, and rolled out the way it should, like just pure raw truth about it. Well, not truth, but just
AKA,
raw
you talking about
realness.
like Issa and Nathan needed to be rolled out?
Yeah, you have to keep it real with yourself. A lot of times we don't want to keep it real with ourselves because it do become a lot. So, and
Sorry,
then
y'all. We insecure fans in here, so
it
you know.
makes you
Very much
look
so.
into stuff, because she really had to look into her go, because she was not making decisions on stuff in her life. So she was forced to have to look at that. So a
Now,
lot of times we don't, want to push ourselves to actually keep it real.
so
Mhm.
before we go deep into that, because we're gonna talk about some insecure because it just
Yeah.
went off HBO, so we got to talk about it. But before we go around that, before we get around deep into that, what character do you feel like you connect with on Insecure and why?
Mm.
Mm.
I would have to go episode by episode
Right.
because
Yeah, I
B, I
agree.
know since episode one, you've been calling me Issa.
Hmm.
Um, and then there was a moment, even in a few episodes after that, where I felt like I was Molly with a broke pussy,
Mhm.
but then,
And I
like,
actually agree with that.
yeah, like there's just I want to be every last one of those characters because to your point on today's subject, like each one of them has issued out some BS, but each one of them have stood in their own truth. And I love what you said, Eyes, about truth being perspective.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it can be ambiguous, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the key is owning it.
Mhm.
Owning if I'm just feeding myself BS to get through this because hey, we in a pandemic and the world is on fire. Or
Yes.
Mhm.
hey, this is my truth. I'm really struggling with this and it's more than what you may think or what you may perceive. And guys, I need some help. Um,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's whether it's either one, will you just stand in it and own it?
Right.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I can recall myself being like Lawrence through some chapters, and then I can recall myself being Daniel um
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of it where you feel like you have it or it looks like you have it all together, but you in reality you don't. You still trying to shape it
Mhm.
up.
Mhm.
So I can recall myself being that. I never ever in life will ever be nowhere near Dro. But it's
That man.
never.
Bro got the legs.
Right.
That man
But
got them legs.
I can see my self even as Nathan because being in adult life and then learning how to deal with a mental
Oh
illness and being
yes.
being honest about it and being transparent or being in a situation to have other individuals use that against you.
Mhm.
I can recall myself being in that situation. So yeah, it does change, like I say, character to character. And then I mean I've had my Easter days.
Right.
I've had
We
my
all,
Molly
yeah.
moment. Yeah, it's like I think that was the one great thing about the show was you can connect with every single character because all of us was
Mhm.
even Kelly at one point where
Yeah.
Yes.
we were so funny and playing around and doing all the stupid crazy stuff, but then I realized no, we was the professional, the person trying to keep business together, hustling, doing what we got to do. So
Mhm.
you would have never thought Kelly worked at a successful CPA firm, like you would have never thought
Right.
it. And then when she started, I think it was the real wake up call in the last season when she said, "Y'all just think I'm a joke."
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think people dug into that to think that they were going to dig deeper into her character as the jokester, but no, she was saying that you can be around a group of people and they can have you can be a certain way to the point where they have that expectation, and when you do try to change it up, they don't see you as anything else. So then
Yeah.
they stick you in that lane, and you're there, and it's hard to keep it continuing and growing when they're holding you to this standard. And I think that's where we saw it shift when Tiffany had the baby, when,
Mhm.
they thought Kelly was dead, or, Issa being put out on the street, or Molly kind of having her issues with men. I never think they not acknowledged it, but I think they just had different expectations of each other. So if I had to stick myself to a character, and be like, this is just hands down who I would feel that I was in that point.
Yeah.
Although I'm not a high fan of him, Nathan, I would put my lineup with Nathan, and that's because right now in this chapter, I would put my lineup with Nathan
Hmm.
because I find myself being in situations where I don't want to put my mental health at risk, so I move accordingly. Have I had it thrown in my face about ways I should handle situations because of it? Yeah. But I haven't allowed it to discourage me in a way that I don't protect myself or I feel less than.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
totally relate to that in the sense of I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there for the world to know that I, a beautiful black woman who loves this show, I haven't finished it, and I haven't finished it. I was,
I'm sorry, I
oh
had to.
gosh,
Don't feel bad. Do not feel bad
I'm a
because
huge fan. Like, okay, and here's the
don't feel
reason.
bad.
I had to
There's so
take that
many.
deep breath for
You
somebody.
did. You did. There's so many people who are expecting me
I
to have
just
been
finished
done.
Sunday.
Good. Oh my goodness. But to your point, B, I think I haven't finished it for that simple reason. I was
Mhm.
telling you guys before that I would feel like these are some of my closest friends,
Right.
Don't want it to
and
be over.
they're leaving me, and
Mhm.
and it's like I kind of
I
want to
don't know how to take
verify
that.
whether this is the healthy thing to do. Like, is this BS or is this truth? I don't really know, guys, and my mental health cannot really take it. Like, seriously. Um, I don't know. So I'm practicing avoidance right now. I'm just
Yeah.
saying if I don't watch it,
It's
it's not the
preservation of
end.
self.
Okay.
It's preservation of self. You be like, I always have a season to finish if I don't, you know. I was like that with Pose. So I
Mm,
technically I'm a big Pose fan.
I
Eyes
am
know I'm a
too.
big Pose fan.
Yes.
And it's an episode in the final season that I have not watched. Like I did not watch it. And I was gonna
I
go back
understand.
and watch it. I was even gonna buy the full season off of iTunes to watch it. And I was like, I just can't. I don't want to finish it because if I finish it, it's over and I don't want to do it. So I understand. So I guess that's the bullshit of the situation.
Right.
Because the
It's
truth is,
really
whether you
over.
finish it or you don't finish it, it's over. Okay, it's
Yeah, I'm
over.
not standing. I'm not
Okay.
standing in that B.
The
I'm gonna
show
leave
has
it at
opened
that.
and closed, but it's like
What you want?
right.
According to HBO, it's still available to me.
Okay.
So it's just, I mean, I guess that's it on it. But yeah, I can definitely understand that when you know, because we did grow with these people. We watched them grow. It made us look into moments of
People.
ourselves, and honestly, we
Yes.
questioned areas we was bullshitting ourselves. To be honest, watching Issa go through everything that she went through, we was like, damn, like did I ever do some stupid stuff like you? You start to think of your own bullshit when you watch people bullshit. You be
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm watching
I think when
you
I
screw up, so I need to figure out: have I done that? Is that me? Have I been in that moment? You know, am I in that moment? Like,
with
help me out.
with her for me, I
Mm.
saw her like having something like personal within that you want to like help like your community, and how she was like really starting off just as a in a tutoring program, and then she just worked her
Mhm.
way up to being like the main person that
We
people look
got
to
y'all
have things to get. Yes. So that
Yeah.
part of her I can relate to, like just trying to
because
figure like what you want to do, like you want to do something that doesn't involve working for somebody else, but you just don't know what that is right now.
it's
So
my hand. It's my
right.
hand reaching
And
out into. Yeah, it's not racist because it's my
it
hand.
definitely was.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
Totally
It
was.
definitely was.
Yeah, so I can relate
Oh,
to
that
her with
episode!
that.
I'm sorry, y'all. That's the funniest part of that series
Yeah.
to me.
And then like Molly, yeah, I can relate with her with dating, but I know with Issa, I don't. I just understood her just trying to figure out life. Like when she was just like it was her 30th birthday, I was like, oh dang, like you just not hitting your 30s. That's why you kind of trying to you going through that blockage of what
Right.
am I supposed to be doing right now? Like I want to have something out of life. I know I want to do something. Like she start, you could just tell things started hitting her differently. Like she woke up. So I kind of can relate to
But
her with that. And
that's
then
kind of like everybody. I think like so. Me and Love had this conversation when I was 25. And oh wow, that shows how long we known each other.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't even think about it until I said it then. But we had this conversation, and I remember for my birthday, she asked me. She said, "Hey, whether you want, for self, or as you turn into this new chapter," and I said, "I want to be a grown man." And which is something not a lot of not a guys would say out loud, but it's I think it's when you stop selling the BS internally, and
Yes.
then you're like, you know what, I do some screwed like crap, like I really do. In the words of Eyez, some effed up stuff.
Okay.
But it's kind of like I know I do it, so now I want to grow. So I completely agree with what I said earlier about the truth and it being the interpretation of how you view it. Because the truth is different for everyone. It's not the same. It's not in the same lineup. What I see as the truth, some people may only see as mere information. You know, so for me, the truth is that distinct moment that you cannot put in your mind to overlook. Like, I think that's the truth. And for me, so it's like when I hit a moment in life where I can't overlook this anymore, I can't pretend that this is not happening or this is not the situation or this is not what's going on. That's the truth. then I think at that point, that's why I say it's an open and closed case. Because at this point, the realization is fully there.
I have
So,
a question though.
mm,
Like, how do we get to a point, like, just by living? How do we even get to the point where we start BSing ourselves? How does that happen? Because it will be years down the line and you be like, damn, I was really like bullshit. And but you don't know when that point was. It's like it just all come at a stupid moment, probably either when you about to be rock bottom or whatever the case may be. Like how do you even see that coming, and when does that happen? Like, what
I
point
can
do
speak
you
from.
go
Go
ahead?
ahead. I'm so sorry to cut you off.
I know you good. Go ahead.
I can speak for myself. I
Hmm.
think that I have always had a set of truths. Um, it has taken me years to accept each one of them. The truth is, I'm a very curious person. I love to travel. I'm naturally inquisitive and independent. I want to experience things. Experiences are my key way of learning.
Hmm.
You can tell me all day that this ain't the best route. It might not be, but I need to go and explore why
Okay.
it's not the best
Mhm.
route for me. And I've known that about myself, but just through societal norms, through
Yeah.
culture, through religion, through different things, it's made it difficult to accept my truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could probably pin the last 10 years of my life of just trying to stand in what is true for me, but spending so much energy and time explaining to the world and convincing
Yeah.
everyone else that,
oof,
like, no
preach.
guys,
Mhm.
it's good for me. It's no, it's
Hmm.
good for me. Yes, I know this, it might hurt me, I might fail, true, but I'll have that experience and that's what I
Yeah.
need.
But I don't think
I
people
think
understand that's just for you. Like that experience is for you. I don't
True.
have to
right.
share. I don't have to share it with everyone.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
it's me. It's a learning experience internally, and I think sometimes when we get angry in those moments of having to keep sharing it or telling other people this is what I need, and having them say, "No, you need this." No, you don't know.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
know.
and it's hard. It's hard to
Yeah.
see someone doing something that was destructive for you, but maybe great for them. Like
Yeah,
my rock bottom
Yeah.
is not B's rock bottom, is not Eyes, and
Lanete.
it. Thank you. It's not hers, and so we all have our own bottoms to rock. So
True.
Okay, bottom
give
rockers.
Yeah.
give give
Pause,
people
man.
grace.
Pause.
Them be a good pair of jeans right there, bottom
Bottom
rockers.
rockers.
Like so stupid. But yeah, I
I'm sorry,
definitely
love. Go
agree.
ahead.
I definitely agree with you. Like, you so for me, I say growing up, like you said, dealing with religion and how you grow up in your household, what you're taught, you kind of, I feel like then in that moment you suppress yourself due to your
Yeah.
surroundings because you don't want them to feel a certain type of way when it comes to you as a person, so you suppress that. And I think it goes through, I think when you go through life and you really don't evolve into like really knowing yourself, it takes life to help you. You get what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
I'm making
Mm-hmm.
sense, like you will
Yeah.
never know unless life hits you in a certain way. Cause like she said,
Something
everything is
happened.
a lesson.
Hmm.
Yes, everything is a lesson, and it's just like one day you're gonna be like, wait a minute, I feel like this too familiar, this too familiar. I need to go about it this way, that now, because this, it's like I'm doing this the same way. So,
Yeah.
I always was told, don't expect a change if you're continuing to do the same thing,
Right.
So it does take a point of life lessons and being like, okay, now what do you want? What do you want to do with your life? This the way you want to go, or you want to go this way, So
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. And you have to be, I don't know, facing yourself is hard because you be want to suppress it. You want to be it. but then you gotta face it.
Either that or
What?
you just got yourself on a pedestal. Cause a lot of
Yeah.
times we be like, yeah, I'm that piff, you know. And then in
Mhm.
reality, you got a
That
whole
bitch.
lot of
Okay.
trash on your front door.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Had to get that real one out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, so I'm gonna say this then, because this is a real moment for all of us. What is the biggest, biggest piece of bullshit you ever told yourself, and
Mm.
you knew it was bullshit the moment you thought it?
Oh, it almost for me it almost sounds like a mantra when I continuously say,
The way
"I'm
he
okay."
said it.
Right.
Wait a minute. It's the way he said it. Like,
I just knew it was bullshit when
uh,
you
You
said
knew it, because everybody got something they done told themselves that they knew like hell it was bullshit when it
it.
came out.
Lying like
They was
hell.
like, you know what?
Lying
Damn, I
like
shouldn't even
hell.
said that.
Mhm.
oh
What you
man,
was saying,
that
love?
totally that was. I'm sorry, this I'm goofy. Like that was the way you said it.
That's
You just
cool.
knew it was some bullshit.
For me, I said mine's almost comes more as a mantra. It's I'm okay. I'm okay.
Right.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay. You got a lot of
Lying like hell.
lot of line ups, because
Yes, and then you hit
I didn't
your
call
rock
her.
bottom.
Oh, when I tell you, I used to call her back in the day, and I could tell her that I just got hit by a bus. She'd be like, "It's okay," and I'm like, "No, bitch, it's not okay."
No, it ain't. No, the fuck it ain't.
And I love having friends like you who call that out. Like
Right,
let me just
Yeah.
show you what you just gave me based
right.
on the circumstances.
She did
Like
that
I'm
one
like,
time.
do you
She's like, "It's
know?
okay." I said, "If you don't get you a pack of stick of notes and go get the hell on up
Oh,
out of here," because she
yes,
does these post-its.
I
And
do.
so I
I
was
do.
like, if you don't get you some posters and go and sit down somewhere, because I can't, it's not
Right.
okay. I'm like, ooh, it would be sometimes I would be like, you know how you had that little thing you want to complain about to somebody, and I'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, don't call her because she gonna say it's okay. And
and and I think that just comes from me and this is to I's point of or to your question of why do we do that? Like, why do we
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
tell ourselves these stories that we know aren't true?
bullshit, say it, bullshit,
Okay,
bullshit.
bullshit. Why do we tell ourselves bullshit? Thank you, thank you.
Like how we
We
get
do
there.
that as a coping mechanism, and
Mm.
I don't think that family would ever admit that they're the first ones to teach us that, but I truly believe it. I truly believe your first preacher and your teacher is your mom and your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what
Ooh, and
I
they sell us
saw,
the biggest bullshit. Let me shut up. Let me shut up. Go
right? Like,
ahead. They
you could
do.
have had the Huxtables. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't
Right,
even matter. But we see what happened with the Huxtables. You know what I mean? So it's
right.
just like,
Mm-hmm.
ah,
That's because they sell
I
it to us. They do. You'll be in high
I
school
think they
talking about, I'm going to be
sell us
sure. And they be
how
like,
to
no,
be
you're
better.
not. You still got time to grow. You like, I'm in 11th grade and I'm 5'4". It's not happening.
So pretty much this
Right.
generational stuff, like it just it's gonna keep going until somebody stop it.
To be honest, you know what? We're not going to go that deep. We're not going to go that deep. Let me be quiet.
It's
Um, keep
Yeah,
this
that's
on.
mine.
That's
That's
her.
mine.
Okay, let's move
definitely a
on.
rabbit hole.
Eyes. Eyes.
Definitely a rabbit hole.
Because I sure was finna say, I'm not finna go there. Eyes. What is the biggest, you know,
um, I would say telling myself, "Oh, I do it tomorrow." Like
Mm.
I'm a big procrastinator, but like I don't know why I love working in the clutch though. Like I love when it get down to like no time, I do my best work then. But if I ain't got no pressure on me, it's like I mean it'll be done, but it's just like it's more fulfilling for me when I'm like almost out of time.
mm, yeah, that's a good
And
ownership.
I know like it will be less stressful for myself to, just get up and do it right when I'm dealing with it. But yeah, because sometimes it'd be more work.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't. Like I know how to change that, but I don't know how to change it. If that make any sense.
You like no, but don't want to. Say that right. Say that
Yeah. Like I know
right.
the steps to do it. Just get up and do the shit. But it's
It
like
ain't AA for procrastinators. Come on now.
I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm
so I
totally
think
feeling that.
for me, I think
right.
having
Like it's
myself.
AA. My name is Eyez, and I'm a procrastinator.
But
There's Shane.
right.
I waited
but
to
I
be born. Go ahead.
but I like for me, I think when I became a mom at an early age, I think that kind of blindsided me. So I feel like I didn't really start recognize a lot of things that I felt like wasn't my fault was my fault until I got older because I feel like what I was doing, this is what's supposed to be done. This is how you're supposed to do it. And just through like from my surroundings. So I at the like I said, I always say in that moment I always really lost myself because that's really what happened, so it's like I really had to the my incident that I had I guess one day we'll talk about that, but when I was in Georgia, life really happened and I had to basically have a talk with myself to be like, okay, what do you want to do? You got two kids, yeah, the help
Mhm.
ain't always gonna be there. These are your kids. You're responsible for these kids for the rest of your life. Don't you can't look to nobody to help you. You can't sit here and help nobody. Like in that moment, I put myself first, and I feel like that was the first time I ever put myself first, and I just been doing it
Mm.
ever since. Because I that's one thing I had to learn about myself. Like I can't be helping everybody, and I'm not, and I can't help myself right now. But I always wanted to be that person. That's just who I am as a person. But then I had to realize you got to get yourself together in order to be that person. You can't just be doing it until you good. So it's like I don't know. It's like I had to face my BS, and that was the hardest thing to do because it's like, how did I get here?
Well,
Like and like it's just crazy.
Mhm.
well,
Like
mine
how do you check
was
for those signs before it get that point?
you followed your damn
Right.
mental GPS. We all have mental GPSs. We just like to take detours. That's really the situation. We like to take detours, but ain't nothing wrong with a detour because sometimes work right and sometimes it don't. But my biggest crock. Sound, let me shut up. The biggest BS I told myself was if you treat people a certain way and you give them what you would want, they will give it back in return. That was the biggest piece of bullshit that I ever told
Baby,
myself.
I bet you learned the hard way.
I learned a hard
Yeah,
ass lesson,
I can
and
agree with that too.
I when I
Baby,
tell
that's a
you
stupid lesson. I learned
that
that it was the dumbest class I ever took.
it was the only class I wish I didn't register for, was never even a part of the curriculum. I wish
Okay.
I never went to this class. I don't. I think it was a what they say what they call it,
Elective.
elective class. This
Not an
had to be an
elective.
elective because not everybody choose to screw up in that one. That's the
Baby.
class you don't want to A in. Like
Okay.
you be like, you know what? The F is the A in this class.
Okay.
But I did. I went through that, and I was happy that I going through that phase. I was able to align myself with people who did give back, and I was able to get it at a mental point where it helped me and that individual girl. Like me and Love, like we had it where when we met, neither one of us had crap. Like
Nothing.
nothing. Like pick fives were our
Still ain't
best
got
friend.
nothing.
Them the
Bruh.
best people
Man,
to grow with.
look, and me and I was the same way. We made we was broke. Like we was broke. Actually, we was homeless to be honest. Both of us. And when I can remember me and Love, like you remember we used to go buy pick fives, leave the grocery at your house so you can cook.
Yeah.
And then we came over and we ate
Yeah.
every day. And our fondest memories was being at the pool all summer.
All
Like
summer.
all summer long, we were at the pool because we didn't work. Neither one of
We
us
didn't have
worked.
no job.
Right. So we was at the pool all summer. And that's a funny story about the pool too, but I just
Oh, so many.
yes, when you face planting in that damn water.
Oh my gosh, that boy took me. You talk about. I wish I could like. I wish
Oh
it was
man.
recorded
I wish I
still.
had it on video because
Me too,
she
because I
went to
was
the
like,
end and she was gonna jump in.
I was
It
like
was
playing
not a
around,
jump.
like ha 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 ha, like I'm gonna jump, and this kid out of nowhere just pushed me, and I
Oh
was.
my
It
god.
was like 2020
Oh my
reenactment.
god.
Like
Oh my
that.
god.
Yes,
It was
Mm-mm.
hilarious.
it
It
was
was
crazy.
hilarious. But we had fun. Like we had fun in those moments. We had to hook up at the theater, so we used to go watch movies for free. Um it was just good stuff. But even in those moments, you find that you give each other something, whether it's hope, whether it's love, whether it's friendship, whether it's trust. You give each other something, and I think it taught me that not everything comes to you physically,
Yeah.
and some things you get from individuals are not something that's truly meant to get you forward in that way, but it's meant to embrace you in this moment, to change you and to
Mm-hmm.
make it where now you know how to open your eyes a little bit more. You know how to be around individuals, you know what to look for, you know how to trust, because me and Love have had like space gaps in between us,
Yeah.
where we've went in this world and roamed around very far away and separate from each other, but the relationship and the dynamic has never changed. So I think the BS of our relationship would be thinking that we physically had to be together to be together. And I think the truth that we found was we didn't. Like, regardless of whether she was in another country, or we didn't speak for a year, it didn't matter. It was like time had never passed the moment we got on the phone
Right.
Mm-hmm.
or we saw each other. So it was fun because I think she came here. What was that? What holiday was that? Was it a holiday?
No,
The last time you was here, you had a layover.
I don't think it was a holiday.
I think it was. I thought it was because the Black History thing was down in Uptown.
I just felt like just Black
It may
Lives
just been
Matter.
because you was there. But no, it had to be a holiday because Flood was here, so it would have had to be a holiday.
Yeah.
It would have
Yeah.
had to be a holiday. So I think it was like the 4th of July or something.
It was
Actually,
it was summertime, but I had on a sweatshirt. I just remember that being
so I can't
and I
remember
felt
what it
very
was,
comfortable.
but Flood was here. I
Yeah.
remember Flood was here. So because I remember you were going back home, and I told you not to go back.
You
That
told
was the
me and it
I
was
told her,
me.
but she took the BS and flew her ass right down there to Mississippi, and the
Mm,
BS rolled her ass right the hell on up out of it.
yeah. Yeah, that was
Sometimes
quite
the
a
truth
time.
is people.
Yeah.
Sometimes the truth be people.
But it
They
got
put
to be a
And
certain individual because you people ain't really receiving of information from people that they feel like who gave you this message. It's
right.
pretty much like
I
I don't really rock with you like that, or I rock with you, but not on the level to be receiving advice
That's
from.
like that. God told me to tell you that you got $100 coming,
well, mm.
and
So
you
when
be
you
sitting
say
over there
that,
like, so when he leave this message on your answer machine, and why
Okay.
when he got my number.
Okay. Mm-mm.
for me, like as you guys talk about people,
Hmm.
um, I think some people have been showing me the truth my whole life, but I haven't been accepting of it because of their position, um, because of I can foresee an amount of potential if they only do this one thing or that one thing, which may be me telling myself the BS, but like the truth of the matter is this person is who they are.
Hmm.
And it's for me to accept that truth that is being given to me and not try and change them, not try and quote unquote pray for them. Just accept the
Yeah.
person for who they are. That's Mr. So and so. He always been on the corner. That's what he gonna do. That's where he at. If he happy, how come you can't be happy for him? You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
And if you get to know him, he might
Yeah.
actually give you some peace and some joy because he sits in the sunshine every day and is lit every day. So
Mhm.
it's like, hmm, maybe my judging has blocked me from accepting the truth that's been presented to me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make this a joke. I'm really not.
Yeah, you is.
But did you
Come
did
on,
you
Biggie.
did you? I couldn't help but sit up here. Like, did you say a homeless man loves sitting outside because of the sunshine?
You know
He
what?
might. He might.
Cause I
Talk
couldn't
to
take
him.
that part seriously.
Talk
I sat up here trying
to
not to
him.
laugh.
You know what I
I
mean? Like,
I tried not to laugh. I said because it sounds so profound in the way, and that it's being said, and the verbiage is very touching. But I can't think
but
that somebody loves sitting out. Okay, go ahead now. It's me. No joke on homeless people because we all a hop sketch away from being there. But
Okay.
Lord, Lord,
but
Yo,
that
I
is some
see.
truth.
Speaking
that's
Yeah.
that's the truth. And the
That's the
BS is
truth.
that we tell ourselves that we not, and we like, no, miss two
I
checks and see where you gonna
have
be at.
seen some
Two.
moments, honey, where I'm like, do I really
Nowadays, you
want to
miss that
stay
one
here?
check. You miss that one check. You be like, you know what?
Buck
I'm
that,
moving
paying
in.
it. I
I'm
be
moving
like,
Right.
do I
in.
really want to
Because if
stay
I
here?
miss one check, I'm gonna be like, when they serve lunch down at the stew pot, because I need to get down there before
Yes.
other people get it.
Okay. Or
What?
wanting, like I said, wanting to pay it because I be looking at it like, do I really want to stay here? Like, do I really,
Mm.
really need a room? Like my car is all right, for a little moment. Can I find somewhere else cheaper? Like
Yeah.
Right.
everybody is a moment away, baby.
That's true.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about
Really.
sneeze. To be honest, a Happy Meal. You want to be frank? Miss budget $1, you be like, yeah, my lights finna get turned off.
Mm, mm,
Okay.
mm.
And Duke don't play. We all know Duke don't play. But no, I think like so okay. So we said the biggest BS we sold ourselves, but what is the biggest truth about us that we've realized?
I realize I'm not as weak as I thought I was. Like
Ooh.
I really am a
Mm.
strong individual. Like a lot of times people be like, "Oh, why me? I can't take it. I can't do it." But then you look at the situations you actually come out of, you be like, "Dang, I could really hold it down. Like I could really do this." Even though it may be seeming, a little stupid at times, but I actually got it. So yeah,
Mm.
based on my situations and experiences that I had, yeah, I can hold something down. Like I'm strong, baby.
That's beautiful.
Love.
Uh, that I am love.
Okay.
You better claim it.
I am love.
2 snaps for
Um,
that. Go ahead.
my mom named me a name, but when I visited South Africa for the first time, the continent of Africa for the first time, I was renamed as Tando, which is isiZulu for God's love. It was a complete accident. They just the lady who called me that just genuinely thought that I was another worker, um, and then started to laugh because she recognized that I was a Black American. And then I told them my name, and in America we don't give our children names with meanings. Therefore, oftentimes we spend a lot of time searching for who we are. Um,
Hmm.
but just the quickness of a tongue, speaking for an entire nation, they renamed me God's Love. I went to a second tribe, the Shona people in Zimbabwe, and they renamed me Rudo, which also means God's love, without knowing what the Zulu people had named me. And I ended my journey in Lesotho, where
Mm-hmm.
they named me Lorado, which also means God's love, without knowing the other two tribes had also named me that.
Mm.
At that same time, during that time, I'm with 30 something other white Americans on a mission to spread God's love, with so many moments of explaining to them what you're spreading is not the love of God. It is American religion and it is white supremacy. Um, while simultaneously at night trying to ask God, why did you put my soul into a black female body in America? Like, why? And the
Yeah.
answer is, Trina, you are God's love, and that's all I have to be on this planet. That is me as a human being, is to just be love. Um, the answer isn't always it's okay. But to love a person, to be calm, to be peace, to be joy, to be positive, like to be good to another human being are reflections of being love.
Okay.
And I can find new ways of saying that versus saying it's okay. Um, but yeah, in the deep dark night, I'm love.
Right, man.
Yeah,
Love that.
that's what's up.
That's beautiful, man.
My biggest truth, I would say, I learned it in 2019 when I became open about it, and then I had to deal with it hard in 2020 and 2021. Um, and that was that it was okay to love me. I think for a long time I had a dislike for myself that I never put off for any. I never put it out there in front of people, but I did. I had a natural dislike for me. And it wasn't until I was then, like, I became open with my mental health that I had to acknowledge that to move forward. And I can remember crying because I was like, I had to admit to myself that I didn't like myself.
Mm.
And sometimes the biggest lessons in lives are the hardest one, you know, to to move through or to be open with. And the even harder part is being able to close that, you know. So once I became to the point where I was like, you know what? Let me find a way to love me in a way that's healthy and not me doing it just because I feel like as a human I'm supposed to.
Mm.
Right.
Because of course everybody, if you say I don't love me, your first thing come out, oh, why don't you? You're an amazing person, yada yada yada. And it's like, no, no. Like, I don't love me. And if I don't love me, I have valid reasons for not loving me.
Yeah.
I didn't love me because of what I allowed and the things that I had been through and certain situations that I had triumphed over, but then I was mad that I put myself in some of those situations. So it was legit reason. Um, but then the truth that came to me was I was worth so much more. I
Yeah.
deserve so much more. Um, I am to be valued, if not by anybody, by myself.
Mhm.
And with that, I got this, in 2021, it was a hard year mentally, but I protected myself mentally and emotionally during that year. Also, I became more open with my mental health. I became an advocate for mental health. Um, Also, I love me more. I dress different. I flow different. If I wanted something, I went and got it. Um, I basically had two, brand new vehicles in 2021. Um, Also, I started this this platform, which is amazing, and I enjoy every moment I spend on it. But that was my truth. I learned to love self because the world will not love you every day, and you will not get it every day, and they will not bring it to you every day. And those words of affirmation may not come to you through the mouths of the people you expect it to every single day. And sometimes you got to get up every day and tell yourself those words that you're valuable and that you need to be here. The BS was me telling myself that I didn't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
And I went through that and love witnessed part of it earlier in 2020. Eyez witnessed part of it later in 2020. So it was like, 2021, sorry. So, sometimes we got to tell ourselves the truth. We just put it out there, let it be what it is. But the truth can be hurtful yet inspiring. And it can make you want to grow and do things different. So it did, and I'm in a better place now completely. And it makes it where I refuse to deal with anything that I don't have to deal with, and I put myself first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically what I was gonna say. Like for me, I learned how to basically say no. Like how to, like what you just said, put myself first because I wasn't doing it. Like people who was close to me know that I was like that person. Like I try to be that person who just, be me with, well, be myself with them because I try to, like, I think you said it earlier. Like try to be the person that just be you by being there for a person because they're close to you. I can't remember exactly
Mhm.
how you put it, but I had to learn how to say no. I had to learn how to be okay with accepting that people that was around me at the time didn't that wasn't supposed to be around me. Like I just started accepting a lot of things, like, just like I just woke up one day and I was just like, I'm thankful for being this humble person. I'm thankful for being, like I try not to. I'm not saying I was perfect, but I have this retaliated on certain situations, but that's because something was done to me. Like something have always been done to me, and then I somehow have had to became the bad person. So I would be like, you know what? I don't care no more. Like they can think whatever they want to think about me. I know I know how I wanted things to be in my heart. I know I'm not perfect. I know all of this, and it's just like I just learned how to just be okay without being okay, and didn't care if people looked at it a certain way. Didn't matter because like I know a lot of people. I had to accept that I am doing really well for myself. Like I said, I'm still growing and I'm still learning, but I have came a long way. But I always beat myself up like I haven't. I never gave myself credit. Like I never sat down and said just like, Lanete, listen, you was here, this happened, you here, like look where you at, like embrace the moment because I didn't know how to do that. So I guess that's another thing I learned, like how to embrace the moment. Like, just how to be okay with where things are. Like life had a hold on me, so I had to learn how to gain control back over my life basically and kind of just basically take control, learn me, and just I don't know. I just woke up one day like pain, hurt, experiences, everything just woke me up, and then like I just had to talk to myself, and I was just like, listen, this to happen.
Listen.
What you gonna do?
I couldn't help
What
it
you gonna do?
because she
Yeah.
paused. So I was like,
Cause I'm just sitting here thinking
listen
like, listen, girl,
to the
like you got
sound
two
here in
kids.
my
Like
heart, the
I never felt
melody I
like
heard. But
like I never felt like people was like
I'm sorry,
obligated
y'all.
to
I'm
help me.
sorry.
No, you fine. Like I never felt like people was obligated to help me, but I used to feel like I just want somebody to see that I'm out here trying. And then it's just like one day I just thought I don't know why I had that mindset for people to realize like I'm really out here
Because it
trying.
was bullshit. I'm sorry. It was bullshit. Okay,
But
that's
like so for you to say that, then I'm gonna have a mindset of eyes. Like, why would you feel like that's bullshit if this is how I really feel?
no, not feeling
Like,
not that it no, not that the feeling was bullshit, but it's just that thought process that people had to see it was bullshit.
oh,
because
okay, yeah.
because a lot of times we set those are expectations we set for ourselves. We feel like if we don't have that person viewing it, and we don't get the praise that comes with our decision, then it wasn't the right decision. And it's like, no, it was. And sometimes you would make decisions that won't nobody like. And you might not get no praise, no accolades, no nothing. But
But yeah,
it
that's
does
what I'm saying. I had to make myself understand that that don't matter. Like it shouldn't matter no
no
more. Like
no.
you know what you doing. You know what you after. You know your goals. Everybody not gonna understand. Everybody gonna have whatever views about you. Like I just got to a point of not caring, just putting myself first because it's like I know deep down I wasn't trying to do anything just to, I don't know. I don't like to feel like I'm causing any negativity with nobody. But a lot of people probably wouldn't understand that and think that the opposite. But that's because I ask questions. Like I don't know. It's just I'm rambling, but I go on and on. But it's just like I had to just learn, like put myself first. Like I had to, like I don't know, like it's so crazy. I tried to be that cousin to people. I tried to be that friend to people. I tried to be that sister to people. But it's like back then, it's like nobody saw that, and it was just like, man, I just got to the point like I don't care. And when I had the attitude, that's really when I took off and went to Georgia because I'm just like I don't. I can't do it no more. Like I'm just gonna do what I
well,
feel like is best.
It
but
became
think
overwhelming for you. Like when you
Yeah.
put yourself in trying to be all that to people, humans at that, it just becomes overwhelming because we're not to be all that for everybody. Then
this
you're
is
left
not the
with
army.
nothing. Like you're drained. Ain't nobody filling your cup up.
Yeah.
So it just becomes too
And I
much.
had
And
to
just like
learn
you
how to
said,
I had to learn
loving
how to
yourself
protect
back to
it.
you.
Yep.
Of course,
I had to learn
because
how to protect it because yeah, it's I don't know. Like it's just who I am. That's why I'm to myself because me being to myself is safer because I can't change who I am. Like if you in my circle and I know how things are go amongst us, like everybody know they circle. They know,
Mhm.
how things go with people. So if you're not in my circle, it's like I don't want to let you in because I'm not naive or I like to just give people a fair chance, just to be who they are, just to be themselves. And then like if something happens, then it's just like okay, you can't be here. Like you gotta
well,
go.
BS versus the truth. I
Yeah,
would say very open case. But
yeah.
we closed a lot of things on here. Since Love is our guest, Love, is anything you want to put out there positive for the people? LOVE?
Is she still there?
Might be. Uh might can't be heard, ain't no telling. Well, we'll move on. Eyes.
As I tell everybody in my circle, don't let nobody play with you, even yourself. Like
Mhm.
we're a soul inside of this vessel, you know. Don't let your flesh or whatever outside forces play in your face because it's easy to allow, you know. That's when you stop keeping it G with yourself and you lose focus. And then now you spiraling into some other foolishness of
Mhm.
bullshit. So don't, allow anything to play with your positive energy. And that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can bounce off of that eyes because it's like if it seems like something not right, 10 out of 10,
It ain't.
something not right.
Okay.
So that I don't know how to explain it, but if you know, you just know that feeling. You
Mhm.
know what it is. Like you just know. So therefore, don't ignore that. To me, to you, don't ignore that. And make sure by you not ignoring it that you're putting yourself first. Face your truth. Stand in the mirror, face your truth, get it on out the way, and then you'll feel free. Like it'll be very peaceful. So just
Okay.
stop bullshitting and face the truth. That goes to me too.
and,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say, just do you be able to see the like BS that you put out for yourself. Sometimes we can't become better individuals until we are fully aware of what we put out. And then also be okay with telling yourself the truth and be okay with hearing the truth from others.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the truth may not always come just to you. Sometimes we're so blocked that we can't see it that it comes through another individual.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, thank you for joining this episode of the Melanin Playbook. We thoroughly enjoyed having this conversation, having our guest love on. Everything. Like, it was an amazing time to sit and talk with you guys. Make sure you're keeping up with the page. And as Queen would say, like, share, and subscribe.
Okay.
Going into season 2, you're going to get a lot of more free talk and a lot of more guests that you'll hear come on the show. So be prepared for it. Next topic coming up is sexuality. So I hope you guys are
Yeah.
really, really, really ready for that one. It's called Let's Talk Sexuality. So let's
Let's
see
talk
it.
about sex, baby. Let's talk about
Yeah, let's
sex,
talk about
baby.
it. And me.
All right, y'all. This was fun.
Becky,
We will holla at y'all because she finna turn to life. All right, y'all.
Later.